And welcome back to SpaceX Extreme Mode. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to demonstrate what space is all about by coming down here, because obviously if we've got lots of launches to do, we should be doing some. So here comes a train. Now I must admit that I actually succeeded in trying to do a recording, and you know, I was recording all the sound and so on, but none of the visuals or the game effects were actually being recorded. So and there you go, these two are about to take off. Yeah, we lost a little bit of time, but in a way that's a good thing, because these are very expensive products, and they need a little bit of time to build up. So I am probably going to need to do a bit more time between episodes doing some off-screen work, just to keep the game ticking along. Otherwise we will have thousands of episodes, and I would like to wrap it up a little bit faster than that, because otherwise it will possibly get a little bit tedious for watchers. I'm not finding anything tedious about it, but certainly it could be slightly tedious for watchers. So we've got a thruster and we've got another protection field. Awesome. It'll probably be a while before we get anything more there. I was just in the oil fixing up a couple of little flashing things. They were missing some pipes. What did we do since last time? Well, the main thing, last time we, if you recall, were working over here in this copper, which is, you know, shredded. It used to be a decent size, and we had a full 4-stack train serving it, but yeah, it's not going to be long for this world. So I have cleaned out all of the copper from these three. I've renamed them iron. I finished putting the iron mining drills down, along with their speed modules. We have repurposed these stations, and we've repurposed trains. So we had 2 trains. We were down to 2 trains coming here anyway. We now only have one. The other one goes to here. And in terms of the iron, I have stolen a train from this and this iron outposts, and they are now coming up here. Oh, that doesn't work nearly as simply as I thought, because this is a one-way system. Oh dear. Another Kator bungle. Well, fortunately our engineering train is just here, so we can run over there and sort that out. That could explain why some things have not been working nearly as well as they should. Let us head to actually copper D1 will be fine. That's close enough. Oil stacker can go away. We don't need to be in this area anymore. What I was doing in this area was sorting out train throughput. You will probably notice some changes as we come out. I don't know how exciting, because there's only so much you can do in terms of analysis and then ripping up track and relaying it in other places. But I mean, obviously we've got this the new form of intersections here. But you'll notice here I ripped out all of this connection, and now the trains are forced to go to this new connection, which reduces traffic near the oil, which was certainly causing some issues. And we're getting a pretty clean run here, so that's all good and to be grateful for. So let's open up the control panel here so that we can whack this on manual as soon as we go around the bend. There we go, because we don't want to go down that bend. Now let's let us fix up our screw up down here. But you guys are all just yelling at the screen going, yeah, that's all well and good, Kator, but if you don't fix the connections there, it's just not going to work. So the trains, I think will be coming, because they're going over here. They will want to be turning down. They can't, so they're doing some absurd loop-de-loop nonsense, and we need to give them an alternative way of doing that. Ouch, this is kind of going to hurt, isn't it? Yeah. I wonder if our proper pattern will fit. Kinda not. This is really going to need something of a hack. So the departure is sort of easy enough. We just need to give that a one of them, which I should keep remembering I can get just by using the picking tool. Now, do I want to try, and because I'm going to have to take out this power pole to get that to extend down here. But I suppose it would be better. We only have one copper train leaving now. And here it is. I think I will remove this access because it's too many. We don't need one train to be able to access all 4 lanes. So now what we can do is up there, not in the wrong direction. We can put in this to allow. Can't do anything just there, unfortunately, but if we do that, and that, and that, and now ideally we can come out and down to there, and add in those, and careful, maybe get rid of you. What happens if we get rid of you? Quite a lot. Okay, so we'll only do that temporarily. Slap that one in there. You know it's in the wrong spot there anyway, it should be in this side. Can go in there, let us connect up some wires. Try not to die. The red connection, and the green one, and that should fix that issue. Right, that's a lot better. So hopefully that reduces some of the traffic up here. The stacker appears to be inadequate. What have we actually got here? Why isn't the iron coming down here, for example? You have a clean path, don't you? So that's got a red. Because of what reason? Because that one's red. These perhaps need to be normal signals. I think we'll have to come over here and sort this out, because I've obviously got something screwed up something. And whatever I do over there to make it work, I need to do over there. But yeah, after they come out of this multi-lane, it probably should be a normal a normal train signal that we use, but I don't want them. So they've got these normal train signals. Is there a problem because I can't put a signal on here? These are all red, so that makes sense that all this area is closed off. But that's green, and oh, they're all red. So I might be right. We actually just don't have the capacity for, if this is over about 24,000, it won't let them in. Guess it makes sense, so they're all just stacked up. Bit of a problem. How is production? 244. Yeah, that's sort of mediocre. So what are our plans now? So we have sorted out this stop. Where are we? The stop here. I have tidied up this is what I was talking about, so that the trains come up here, because between these two is causing a lot of congestion. And I guess you want to turn, do you? Yeah. Now that we've got this backlog, we have a lot of congestion. Kind of don't understand that. I mean, I suppose we could just keep on adding to the stacker. That's probably better than blocking the through path here, because these guys need to get out. They need to get up to the red circuits. We can't have them sitting here. Oil, I think, is up to date. As in, it's completely caught up and all of our processing has been filled out. Remember, we've run many episodes with this lot not filled, and also down here I think was not filled. I don't think there's any issues there now. Let's have a look at our production stats. All time. Iron is rapidly heading towards that 1 billion mark all by itself on plate. So we've got 1.664 billion between iron and copper smelted so far. I don't know if green circuits will hit the 1 billion mark by the time we reach the end, but you never know, because there's still a long haul with the drives and so on. What are we doing with red circuits at the moment? 56,000. I suppose that's not too bad. The things that I wanted to work on next, aside from maybe getting rid of some of these, I'm not sure. So I did think for a moment that I would fill in the rest of this and extend this iron out so we'd have pre-stackers involved. But if you come in and have a look, basically the only thing a pre-stacker would help is if these, in particular these N1s, are not running continuously. If they're running continuously, we're using this to its maximum throughput. And the time that it takes trains to exit, and if the stacker has enough in it to then run up here and enter, can be done inside a loading cycle. So that's the top one. Those are running. Can be done inside a loading cycle. So it doesn't actually look like I need a pre-stacker, which is good because this is a far more compact build than one that requires a pre-stacker, and so that's beneficial. The one thing that maybe would be handy would be a ore train stacker, but they tend to be flowing fairly well with the drawer on here. So this is capable of 128,000 iron plate per minute by itself, which means that theoretically all three of them, if they were all running at this optimal capacity, would be sort of 384,000 iron plate per minute. And the same with copper, but obviously I just don't need the same level of copper throughput because well, maybe, who knows. That's the main base, but we have a decent supply of iron there. We're still short advanced circuits and processing units in spite of 56,000. I mean, we can get over 60,000, so we're obviously not quite maximizing our red circuit. So if I don't build a pre-stacker here, what am I going to do with the time available? Well, obviously one thing that we are going to do is be monitoring our various ore fields that are under demand. That one's dropped quite a lot. I mean, we have a 3 times productivity bonus, which is good because I don't want to just be constantly building new ore patches. There's a ton of iron over here, which is really nice. But what could be handy would be going up to red, and now this is running fully now, but there's certainly times. Why aren't you running? You have no plastic. How do you get plastic? You get it from there. So yeah, there's no plastic. So what I want to do is set up some lights that will monitor the resources in various networks. I don't know which network this is. Does it tell me anywhere? You know, it would be really nice if you hovered over a network, if it actually told you which network that was, so that when you go into L, you can find it, because you can't name them, unfortunately. But if you could find it, then it would be a lot easier to work out what you've got and what you haven't. I guess you can just hover over there. Yeah, we obviously don't have enough red circuits because we're trying to load a train. We have plenty of green circuits. We have a decent amount of copper, but obviously plastic is short. Something else I'd like to do is this system. It's okay, but there's probably too many just sitting on this belt, which I don't entirely like. So I would prefer to just set up a little circuit so that it says if you're less than 100 here, then you're allowed to put them out here, but otherwise you're not, and that will clear the belt, which, you know, just tidies it up. The green circuits, at the moment we have got them combined. I don't like them being combined because they should be more efficient with these as separated networks. So that's what we will do. It looks like the green circuits could actually handle more. So if we had a shortage of green circuits, we could add one more to go to red. I could consider building, ripping out this blue and building it somewhere else. that would probably help, because the blue, I mean everything here, we've got 16,000 robots travelling large distances across the main base to keep this whole thing happening. You know, from ore up here to down here to across all the way over here. It's a long way, so that's quite a lot of our UPS being burnt there. But I think it's probably too late, and I still don't really have enough room to fully you know, take all of this out and reorganize it and so on and so forth. So I don't think that is something I'm going to do for this playthrough, but certainly in I have plans for a more RSO based map where I will have enough room to you know, I really like having these spread out and split up. I think that's the key. I don't know if any of you guys saw Colonel Will and Exterminators and Co's when they did their 015 sim map, but I mean, it worked quite well, but there was a massive train congestion. I mean, we've always had a little bit of train congestion. Is this some congestion? No, it's just lots of trains. We're having train congestion. There's two ways round to train congestion, I guess, and one of them is obviously using bigger trains, so there's less of them on the map, which we did in comparison to that sim map. But the other thing, I think, is to simplify these modules by having more of them doing less, rather than one huge clump. I mean, yeah, sure, you can isolate the networks here, but if all of these were stacked up together, imagine it, you'd have this huge stack that you'd have all the trains in the system trying to get into to feed, whereas we have fairly busy stacks, but because they're separated like this, we do have four. Because they're separated like this, the traffic congestion is spread around, and it flows somewhat more freely. How's this one doing? Yeah, there's probably no point putting more trains on there, because we're just not burning through these. Well, we are actually. There should be, if there's any iron trains in there, one should be coming down. It is good. It just really needs a bigger stacker, I think. And perhaps that's what I'll do. Just enlarge this stacker. I took out the swap around that I had there, because I've put one in here basically, so as you can see there, that train can swap if it needs to. So any of these trains can effectively get anywhere. So that one can use this to get out to this lane, and that one can use that to get out to that lane. So and it should separate the two sides, so if we do actually have a demand for two at once, we should be able to get two trains coming down at once, I think. I mean, if I can't, then I've overcomplicated this for no good reason. So what is going on with plastic? We do have some plastic in this stop, but we could do with more plastic trains, I think. Sure. Let's have a look. Where are the plastic trains? So here's one coming back to refill. Here's one heading up. I think as a minimum we need another plastic train. Whoops, let's just check on our come too far, where we can check plastic. There's tons of plastic here now. I still can improve plastic flow, so the speed modules have helped in terms of how far the petroleum gets, but it still doesn't quite get all the way down the stack. So I mean, halving the stack would certainly fix it completely. But it's under control now, so maybe I can leave that alone. But I would like another plastic train. So maybe we need to go back to oil. Right, let's take our life in our hands. Maybe 2 more plastic trains. It certainly looks like it's plastic. So the plan is we will add plastic trains, and we will go up to red circuits and put some monitoring in. But we will be doing that in the next episode. So thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you then. Bye bye for now.